Welcome back, everybody, and in today's video we're going to be looking at how to build a major scale. We're looking at more examples. Specifically, we're looking at how to build scales that are involving flats. And so we've looked at a few examples of scales that involve sharps. Now we're going to look at the flat side of things. The flat side of things I think tends to be a little bit more confusing to people. So we want to make sure that we're always adhering to these two rules: writing out the skeleton and doing whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So we're performing that sort of operation on our scale. We're going to start here with our B flat major scale, and the reason why this is a good one is because we have a flat that's in our initial root note, and so earlier I had mentioned that when we talk about writing out the skeleton, we only write out the natural notes. Well, obviously B flat is not a natural, but it is the root note, and so there's one of those exceptions that I had talked about. So we're going to go ahead and start off by writing B flat, and then we're going to just write our skeleton: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B flat. I want to make sure that my starting value is always equal to my ending value. If these two notes are different, you are doing something wrong. Okay, so it's always A to A, or B to B, or C to C, or B flat to B flat, or whatever it might be, G flat to G flat, F sharp to F sharp, whatever it is that you're doing, the starting and ending values need to be the same. And now I've completed step one, and I'm going to move on to step two. I'm going to make sure that this scale adheres strictly to whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So let's look at that. From B flat to C, is that a whole step? And yes, it is a whole step. From C to D, is that a whole step? Yes, it is. From D to E, is that a half step? And no, it is not. And to make this a half step, we are going to put a flat on E. Now from E flat to F, and let's change that color here so it stands out a little bit better. Let's do E flat like that. And now from E flat to F, is that a whole step? Yes, it is. And from F to G, is that a whole step? Yes, it is. From G to A, is that a whole step? Yes, it is. And finally, from A to B flat, is that a half step? Yes, it is. And so this is a properly built B flat major scale. It incorporates the notes B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, and B flat. All right, let's move on and let's take a look at an E flat major scale. So let's go ahead and start with E, and I'll go to F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Let's go ahead and make sure we put our flats in here. And we're just gonna follow our rules here. We started off with writing out the skeleton. And once again, my skeleton doesn't mean that I have all naturals, because E flat is obviously not a natural, but it is the root note. It's called an E flat major scale. So I certainly wouldn't want to write E because it's not the E major scale. All right, and so my starting value matches my ending value. So there's another interesting thing. All right, so let's take a look at this. My second rule is I need to make sure that it adheres strictly to whole, whole, half. Let's see. So is E flat to F, is that a whole step? Yes, it is. Is F to G a whole step? Yes, it is. Is G to A half step? No, it is not. And so we're going to put a flat right there on A. All right, let's keep moving on. Is A flat to B a whole step? And no, it is not. And that, in fact, is a step and a half. A little tougher to see that. And so we're going to put a flat here on B as well. Let's keep moving on. Is B flat to C a whole step? Yes, it is. Is C to D a whole step? Yes, it is. Is D to E flat a half step? And D to E flat is definitely a half step. And so we've already adhered strictly to our little formula here. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, and that's exactly how we build the E flat major scale. All right, let's go ahead and do one more example. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to build the A flat major scale. So we've got A, and I'll just go and write it: B, C, D, E, F, G, A. All right, and let's put our flats in here: A flat, A flat. Okay, and let's see. Let's go ahead and start thinking about our pattern. So I want to think to myself, is A flat to B, is that a whole step? And it is not. So immediately we need to go ahead and put in a flat here on B. Now let's keep moving on. Is B flat to C a whole step? Yes, it is. Is C to D a half step? No, it is not, and so we're going to put a flat here on D. Is D flat to E a whole step? And it is not, so we're going to put a flat on E as well. Is E flat to F a whole step? Yes, it is. Is F to G a whole step? Yes, it is. And finally, is G to A flat a half step? And the answer is yes. And so now you can see that we've properly built three different major scales, the B flat major scale, the E flat major scale, and A flat major. And so let's maybe clean this up a little bit. So we'll write this out over here. And so we'll kind of write in here B flat. So B flat consisted of B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. Then E flat consisted of E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, and finally A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat. And those are the three different scales that we looked at building today. Could we build these with sharps instead of flats? And the answer is again no. We talked about that in an earlier video. It turns into an absolute disaster. In future videos, we're going to continue to look at building major scales. We're going to look at some more examples because this is absolutely by far the most important thing that you can learn in music theory. If you don't understand how to build a major scale, you will continue to get stuck and you'll have hard times with just about everything. The chromatic scale and the major scale really go hand in hand in understanding flats and sharps and intervals. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you've really enjoyed what you've seen so far, please just go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. It'll help keep us going so we can put out more great content for you.